And welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube, /WGLNA. If you guys aren't watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. It's pretty awesome. And finally, follow us on Twitter, @WGLNA, so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. And also, you guys can answer the question of the day.
Just what is your favorite tank?
My
Tier 10 tank.
Tier 10 tank, that's right. Favorite tank of all, it's got to be that T1 Cunningham. But my favorite Tier 10 tank has to be the Waffle E100 because I love waffles. They're my favorite breakfast, and it's just an autoloader tank destroyer. It's amazing.
I-7 for me. It's my first Tier 10.
Yep.
It's a great tank again. And how can you beat that armor layout?
If someone wants to make just like an awesome montage video of all of David's IS-7 plays with like some sweet music.
They'd have to have like patch 6.2 to have like half of the replays even function. I don't even know if I have them.
Gotcha. Well, enough of that.
It's impossible.
If you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, our next matchup for the night, match number 3, is going to be High Voltage versus Yo. For the face-off, we've got on the side of High Voltage to Killzor. For the side of Yo, we've got Lost. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off to Killzor. We're going to go ahead and start with you. It's good to see you again, sir. And my question to you is going to be, how did you guys spend your break in between seasons?
Well, we didn't really have any break. If we're looking at it, we're training for WCA, we're training for the season, so between Japan and now, we've been doing some tryouts and we've been training almost every day, so there's no real break until after WCA.
Wow, an intense schedule indeed. Well, hopefully you guys can, you guys are showing, even with such minimum training, if that is the case, that you guys are still dominating, so good job so far in the season.
Thank you.
All right, Ducky. Duck Thief.
Duck Thief.
What's your favorite Tier 10 tank?
Well, I think it was the 140 until the T22 came out. That thing is just so damn ridiculous.
It is indeed, and we'll have to cover at some point in the next week or two all the difference between the 3 Tier 10 rush means.
All right, to Killzor, thank you so much. Losh, going to go over to you. My question to you is actually kind of a personal question, and it's going to be, if you can answer it on stream, great. I just want to know, what's the story behind the Mona Lisa with sunglasses? Because I think it's amazing.
I think we answered that last time. Yeah, it was pretty much Andy.
I was in here.
Andy pretty much came up with it, pretty much designed it all. We just changed it around a little bit, put some glasses on it, but yeah, it was all Andy.
Yeah, the glasses, fantastic job to Andy indeed. Thank you for answering that personal question for me.
Ask him another one.
I just wanted to.
He didn't ask him an original question. Ask him another one.
Sorry, I'll ask you another question. Now, for you, Lost, my question is going to be personally, as a player, so for new players out there who are kind of like wondering what it takes to play in this league, play in these seasons, what is the dedication that they can kind of expect to, like on a day-to-day basis? How long do you guys practice?
Practice 3 times a week, twice a week usually. But yeah, 2-3 hours at each time, whatever team we play with.
All right.
Silver or gold, but just 9 hours a week.
Sure. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir.
What is your favorite Tier 10 tank?
215 by far. DPM health pool.
Wow.
Plus you can play. And then you can also get angle it up so your turret's pretty much impenetrable. So it's pretty beast on the pub matches.
Someone angling the gun up a little bit towards the air. All right, thank you.
Sounds like a fantastic tank indeed.
Sorry.
Before we get started, gentlemen, to Killzor, anything you would like to say to Lost before we get started?
Well, as my tradition, I have to fire a shot before the match, so I know the Mona Lisa is smiling. I plan on removing that smile after this game.
Oh, all right. Lost, your response.
Where's our sheriff's accounts?
Okay, good response indeed, gentlemen. Thank you so much to the both of you.
Love you.
We'll get best of luck. We'll see you guys shortly. Wow, that is what. Hey, if you're gonna, I mean, what a time, right? What a time indeed. If not the face-offs, then win.
Wow, he takes that moment to troll.
Hashtag. Yeah,
I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, so. Their smile might be gone, but he didn't say anything about the sunglasses. So regardless of the match,
he'd not be so thugging like
Yo will still be cool.
That's right. Now, to Killzor, potentially Duck Thief, who we have not seen last week, be playing now this week. Expecting? Did you put him on your fantasy?
Not this time around. I just kind of wanted to see. I wanted them to kind of prove how well they're going to do at Tier 10 before I really He dove into it like that.
All right, well, let's take a look at our rosters for both of these teams on the side of High Voltage, on the side of 07. David, some of the stand-up players.
Well, Arclet's now on High Voltage. Heavy 20 isn't going to play anymore. Ox Thief is off Artillery, so he's available. Bird Thief is a player that's new to the team. I didn't know that before. He apparently might be kind of starting to play more arty, so that'll be interesting. And then for Yo, some of the standout players so far have been Andy Pans, who obviously made the logo, Fulcrus, Chai Sniper. We can go through the whole list, honestly, while we're at it. Lost Bobby Striker. All these guys are going to be starting this time around. Tasty Pastry still there in reserve so far. He's not going to be playing as far as I can tell at the moment. And then, of course, there's Ajax 1170. So we've only seen these guys play last week. So there's always plenty of time for all these people to prove that they are the people we should be paying attention to.
Absolutely.
On that team.
And now we're going into Cliff. Now, David, starting out again. And this is a map that we talked about. If you are a more experienced team, you just have such a huge advantage over the other players. So was it a wise decision for Yo to let this go through? Let's see, because we are starting match number 3, battle number 1, Yo versus High Voltage. Let's get right into it and take a look at, ladies and gentlemen, what we've got for our tanks.
So for High Voltage, we have 2 Bat Chats, 2 E50Ms, 2 T22s, and an RU251. For Yo, with 2 50Bs, 2 Bat Chats, an Object 907, an E50, and an Object 432. All right, Yo, I believe you have heard my commentary about bringing more autoloaders. That is certainly more autoloaders. So we'll see if it works out for you. In this situation, maybe too many, but we will find out very shortly here. I think it is a very interesting decision, kind of a statement about their team, that Yo went through what they went through against Noble on this map. And now they're choosing to play it against High Voltage. So either they feel confident that they've now learned a good amount and that they've seen almost everything that can be done on Cliff from a veteran team, all of which is true. And it gives them a lot of a way to kind of measure how well they can expect High Voltage to perform, because Noble and High Voltage should be pretty close on this map, I feel. So they may learn a little bit more, or they may actually have some tricks up their sleeve, but either way, they're not scared of it. They're not going to ban it out. They're not shy of it. Wallhax is going to get those early scouts. He's going to try and climb all the way up to the top. A lot of damage already coming out on these guys right now, focusing out of the backfield, as High Voltage is running a very interesting new way of Cliff from the old meta for sure.
They've taken the donut of the control. Let's see how it's going to go from this. Bobby taking a lot of damage up on top of the hill for Yo. A couple more shots. He'll be going down to 1,500, and Anthief is going to be the one to finish that Bat Chat off, and that is a tank falling for Yo. High Voltage already taking an early lead here. Look at that HP advantage they're going over for High Voltage. Over 3,000 now. Here comes the response for Yo, trying to do their best, but they seem like they're kind of caught out. They don't quite know what to do. They're all grouped up at the bottom of this hill here, and High Voltage, such good positions.
I don't know if anybody would really know what to do in this situation. I mean, honestly, the best option is to go push over to the donut, but they don't have enough information to really know that. I don't think they've spotted both those 50Ms. They actually have. So, as we talked about before, their instincts are correct. They're a little bit behind the ball on it. I didn't exactly make that read particularly quickly either. So, this is a good thing they got going on here. But I think High Voltage already has this kind of understanding that they know what they're going to get out of this. They're going to make those plays. Fulcrus and Ajax trying to close.
Oh, here we go. Ram damage there going to Blue Boys captain. Ajax going to be dropping extremely low. One more shot, and he's going to be falling. Striker taking down Bird Thief. That's a tank falling for High Voltage. Lost finds Blue Boys, but Duck Thief is going to take down Lost in response. And with that Thief taking down Ajax, that is just 4 tanks remaining for Yo against the 5 of High Voltage. And the rest of High Voltage now coming to join their team here in the fight. Ox Thief leading the charge, and that fit be a huge ram there going into Fulcros in the 907. Double kill. Ant and Ox Thief taking down Striker and Fulcros. And with just Chai Sniper and Ondipons alive for Yo, this is going to be a victory for High Voltage right off the back here. Already in just 2.5 minutes, they have found this one in Cliffs. The fast-paced map indeed, with Wallhacks fighting Chai Sniper. That is a victory for High Voltage. Congratulations to them. Now, David, let's talk about kind of what you just saw there. That interesting play coming up for High Voltage. We have seen the donut be used before. We've seen that position kind of utilized. How did High Voltage utilize that differently than from the past?
They just had their tanks in particular. Nobody went middle besides the RU251, which was going to get the time they needed to get there. We've got a timeout from High Voltage there. Not entirely sure what that's about. I'm sure we'll find out relatively soon. So the positions in general were just very different. And it had enough to do a lot of damage on anybody who came after them. Yep. It had enough to do a lot of damage to anybody who didn't. And this is a tricky strategy. The only kind of weakness here to what they're doing maybe not even necessarily a weakness, is this is totally geared to a team that goes aggressive out of the gate.
Oh, okay.
So if Yo was not going aggressive and they just camped in the north, the entire positions for High Voltage would have just done nothing. And they would have had to then step up and find their way. But High Voltage will crack a defense on this. Most of the veteran teams will.
Right.
I feel like this is probably not necessarily something that we would see High Voltage do a lot of the time.
Okay.
I think that they have recognized that Yo is a very fast playing team, and that they are going to rush a lot, and they're going to try and create those head-to-heads. Perhaps listening to me and in my simplicity of complexity and thinking that I am 100% right in that instance. Not all the time. Like I always say, it's complicated.
Yeah.
And in this instance, in the middle, you do have to go there. You do have to go in a certain way, and you have to have all these kind of contingency plans for what happens if this, what happens if that, to know where to go from there. But on topic is, I think that they know that Yo is going to play aggressively, and that they are running a more spread, less aggressive strategy in order just to let Yo come to them and them farm when they get there.
Gotcha.
So this is a meta game. I fully believe it because I think maybe we'll see this out of them in the future. I think there's a lot of things that they can do with this strategy, and there's a lot of power to it if they flex it over time. But I think some of the tanks might be changed. I don't know. Like I said, it's complex. For me to actually have to talk about this, I'd need to be like a weatherman with a big map and just all sorts of cool stuff to draw on there and talk about it, because
10 iPads.
This is a complex thing. But High Voltage, we can summarize by saying they are demonstrating a very strong control and understanding of this map and the angles inherent to this map. And this is one where your players have to know everything as well. It's not just strategy. You have to know, the player has to know what their shot's going to look like from here, what their shot's going to look like from here. And if they don't, you cannot run a strategy effectively enough to win, because there are always going to be these little things that they have to solve on their own.
So now my question is going to be then, if you're a veteran team, as we're getting to the next match, and you know you have to rush, you know a defense will be broken, how do you break that? We can talk about that when we see it, because we are ready for our next battle here. High Voltage up 1-0 against Yo. We're switching sides. High Voltage is on defense, Yo on offense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
So for High Voltage, we have 2 Bat Chats, 2 E50Ms, 2 T22 mediums, and RU251. And for Yo, we have 2 AMX 50Bs, 2 Bat Chats, an Object 907, an E50, and an Object 432.
All right, here, High Voltage again now is on the defensive side, and we kind of talked about how Cliff is so about that middle push that the defense really doesn't sit back and be defensive. They all rush forward as well. It looks like High Voltage is actually taking the lower ground here. David, let's kind of talk about these opening positions. As we're not seeing them rush the center, they are rushing the western side of the map.
Yeah. High Voltage. It's again a very donut-heavy push. So they're expecting Yo to meet in the middle. They're probably going to have to get an early light with the RU251. I'm not entirely sure why Duck Thief is following him up. He's probably going to use some of the advanced positions higher on the hill. They're going to rely on a lot of crossfire from these other guys here in the donut. So Yo is going to essentially step into a crossfire. That High Voltage is already pre-planned, and it's another kind of similar look as what we were seeing last time, where High Voltage is expecting him to go very, very aggressively. However, High Voltage biasing themselves on the wrong side of the hill if they're expecting that, in my opinion.
Here we go. Lost, though, taking a lot of damage there for Yo. 1900, one more shot. He's going to go down. Meanwhile, Duck Thief and Wallhacks being surrounded for the side of High Voltage, and Ondipant is going to take him off. Bobby taking Duck Thief, and that is 2 tanks falling very quickly back-to-back for High Voltage. High Voltage, though, still does hold that HP advantage, but they are down a tank. Let's see how Yo can turn this one around, if they can find the positions, if they can stop what High Voltage is trying to do right now, as High Voltage is going very aggressive now for the center. Chai Sniper is kind of caught out here in that Object 432. Arklet pushing around the court in that 50M, and the rest of High Voltage now continue to try any members that they can. Meanwhile, Yo putting pressure with 2 Bat Chats over on that eastern cap. The number 2 you guys see in the bottom right-hand corner. Will that pay off? Will that be enough pressure for High Voltage to kind of panic here? Ant Thief taking down Chai. It looks like High Voltage still maintain their composure, now tying it up 5 tanks to 5. The HP still now in High Voltage's lead, and a lot of damage there going on to Ajax. Beautiful focus fire for High Voltage. 6 minutes on the clock, and Arklet takes down Bobby. Another tank falling for Yo, and this looks like it's going to be another victory for High Voltage here. Bird Thief finds Striker. Full Crows is now the next target as Ox Thief takes the shot. 1,100 points of damage there. Blue Boys might be going down. Let's see if the rest of the team can save him. No, but he does find Full Crows before Ajax finds him. Ox Thief taking down Ajax, and now 4 tanks with just Ondipons alive. Who's going to take him down? It's going to be Bird Thief, and that has been a very quick victory there for High Voltage indeed. Now, I can actually kind of bring back my question as I was going to ask before the start of the match, which is if you are a team who's playing Cliffs and you know that you can't sit back because you're going to get pushed on, you're going to get your defense broken, and if you do push against what High Voltage just did, that is going to happen to you. How do you counter what they did? Do you just not push the center but also not hold back? Is there another area in the map you can go?
Not really. I mean, you can go kind of on the outside of Lighthouse. We're getting into an area here where explaining things in even an attempt to simplify it would be doing a disservice to everything that's going on here. So unfortunately, I can't really help
There's
out.
so much happening.
How you could possibly beat what High Voltage is doing right now? The only thing. So right now, the only weakness that High Voltage is showing is that they are doing what I believe are hard counters. So if Yo could see that, and they can try and figure out what High Voltage would do for a hard counter, then Yo could capitalize on that. But this is way out of the pocket of regular standard play, and it's in a situation that most teams would not be able to handle. If, say for example, if High Voltage were to get this strong of a read on Noble, say Noble was going to consistently push middle, then High Voltage could very well beat Noble very, very handedly in that kind of situation. But Noble isn't necessarily the type of team to get caught like that, or to not be able to recover from those kind of things. They may lose a tank, but they'll come back from this. So that's not necessarily a comparison of the two teams in particular. It's an example of how crazy this is right here.
Doing.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
You got to feel bad for Yo in the situation where you're just like, oh, you can see this.
I don't really feel bad for them. I mean, they're playing against one of the best teams out there. There's nothing to really feel bad about, in my opinion. They're doing quite well with some of the adjustments they're making, and some people may struggle to see some of the finesse, the little details of what Yo is doing. But I see a lot of promise here, and honestly, if they were to play this way against most of the teams in the league, they would probably absolutely wreck them on this map. And they have now gotten firsthand experience with two of the best teams in the league.
That's so
that
true.
are often very difficult to get practices with when you're new.
That's so true.
And it's valuable. It's valuable. I keep playing Cliff all season and just be like, whatever, guys, they can't be better than High Voltage and Noble, right?
Let's learn. That's absolutely true. I did not think about that. So a good learning experience for Yo. Let's see if they can learn while they're still playing against High Voltage and pick up a victory here, or if High Voltage will continue this dominance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right back into it and take a look at now what we've got for our tanks.
For High Voltage, we have a Batchat, 2 E50Ms, an Object 142, T22s, and an RU251. For Yo, 250Bs, 2 Batchats, an Object 907, an E50, and an Object 432. While we're watching these tanks drive up here. Object 907. I don't have any experience with this tank at all, actually. We'll have to check that out, add that to my list.
All right.
Check out Yo's camo here. Yellow and black.
Nice. Look at that. Actually, that camera looks really, really good on this map right now.
Yeah, it's actually blends
blends in very
High
well.
Voltage is not as much, but it does look sweet. And Yo, similarly, kind of what they did to Noble here, they will be moving largely into the 1-2. Duck Thief and Bobby are both spotted. At this point, High Voltage should have enough information by deduction to know that they are being attacked from this vector. So we'll see how High Voltage adjusts.
Oh, and adjusting and not looking so well as Ajax picks up wall hacks, and that is a tank falling for High Voltage very quickly.
Look at this split with both 50Bs, Ondipons, and Lost coming around the outside. Unfortunately for them, they are going to get dogpiled by all these High Voltage tanks.
Striker taking down Duck Thief, meanwhile up on top, and Bird Thief almost finishing off Bobby here. Meanwhile, High Voltage push around the side. Ondipons, that 50B is in trouble. Bird Thief finally takes down Bobby. One more shot, and Ondipons is going down. It's going to be Ox Thief to pick that one up, and now Bird Thief has free reign over these 3 tanks. The 2 of the Object 430, the Object 907, and the E50 from Yo, as the rest of High Voltage pushes around the corner. Now looking at Lost, taking him down. A lot of damage there going into that tank. Next is going to be Ajax. I don't know if Yo can come back from this one. The HP, though, is tied. If they can get some good focus fire, they might be able to pick it up. Oxthief finds Ajax. Chai Sniper, though, take it down. Arclit, 4 takes to the side of High Voltage against 3 for Yo. With Fulcros taking in, it is going to tie it up 3-3. It is now a brawl, ladies and gentlemen. A T22, an Object 140, and an E50 for High Voltage against a 907, an E50, and a 432.
Oh,
Striker taking out Oxthief. Bird Thief does find Chai Sniper. It is now a 2-on-2 again. Yo versus High Voltage. Blue Boys Captain and Bird Thief doing their best. A lot of damage there going onto that Object 140. Bird Thief taking it, driving below half, but a nice pickup there onto Striker and that E50. And Fulcros is the last to remain. He is full health. Some bounces there going across those shots. A nice block there using the enemy. Bird Thief using a fallen member of Yo as a shield. Fulcros is running, trying to take him down. He does. He gets around the corner. A one-on-one now will commence. It is all up to the shots. Who will bounce? Who will find it? The first shot for Fulcros does track Blue Boys Captains, but Blue Boys Captains actually does damage there. Now the shot into Blue Boys 353 in that T22, dashing around the fallen tanks. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a very tight battle. This might be Yo's opportunity to pick up a victory onto High Voltage. Will High Voltage give it to him? Blue Boys Captain onto Fulcros. That shot just now missing, and 318 goes into Blue Boys. Blue Boys is loaded. 358 going into him. A high roll here from Fulcros. Might be able to know. 323. Now it's going to be back and forth. It looks like Blue Boys Captain might be able to dig this one. No, the shot bounces, or he just missed it into the side, but Blue Boys bounces as well. A crazy battle here going back and forth, and Fulcros taking down Blue Boys Captain, and that is going to be a victory for Yo here right in the end. They found High Voltage right there. They found the weakness, and they took him down in an epic 1v1 for the ages. My goodness. My cord is all over the place.
I think that's my favorite battle of WGLNA.
That was
maybe ever.
Insane.
Maybe ever.
That was insane right there.
That was incredible, and that just goes to show. That just goes to show that a strategic advantage is not everything. Let's go to stats while we have the chance.
Let's do it right now. Oh man, I'll wrap my brain around what just happened.
Fulcrus, Object 907. 49-17.
Oh my God.
That's more than Executus.
There we go. We have a new
Almost
record.
5,000. So, in the meantime, Blue Boys, the T22, 40-85. Oxthief behind him, 27-26. And you can kind of see the damage spread as both these teams go all the way down. The only one who really didn't get any damage was Wallhacks, but that's to be expected, or at least it's acceptable in this situation. And really what this came down to, in my opinion, was 2 tier 9s versus a team with a tier 8. So we got overall better DPM over the long run.
Okay.
And you know that's an incredibly simplistic way of looking at it.
Sure,
You can
sure.
I can argue with myself, as we all know. I can argue with myself about anything all day. Yeah. And that's kind of the, I guess how I would describe this is, have you ever done an exercise in theory crafting?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like when you're just imagining what you would do in like an MMO or whatever, and you kind of talking with somebody about it. And there's always that guy who's like, "But if you did this, I would just do that. If I just did this, you would just do that." And you're like, "Cool, man. Let's actually fight and see what happens."
You can't
because
know
we can
that.
theory craft this all day, and there's always a solution to whatever I'm doing if you know it. But in that moment, what happens? And in that moment, High Voltage had the answers. And in the end, little mistakes added up to Yo winning. So this is why reality matters far more than what anybody thinks will happen in theory.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A perfect example right there. Now we're getting ready to go back into Cliff. Our final one for this match number 3. High Voltage is up 2-1 against Yo. Can Yo tie it up, or will High Voltage make it 3-0? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For High Voltage, we have a Bad Chat, 2 E50Ms, an Object 430, 2 T22s, and an RU251. For Yo, we have 2 Bad Chats, an Object 140, 2 Object 907s, an E50, and an Object 430. So I guess they were like, hey man, the 907s really killed it last time. Let's bring them back. Let's bring them
back indeed. Now Yo on the offense. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of respond, if they've learned anything from the first time High Voltage beat them here. What they do. Looks like they're not doing anything really too differently. They're all pushing for the middle again, maybe expecting High Voltage. Looks like High Voltage is doing the same thing. This is just going to be a middle rush with an RU251 for High Voltage staying back in that D1 line, maybe spotting out to make sure no one's going for the donuts, which is going to give High Voltage a good kind of idea that they are about to face off a lot of members here. Duck Thief, Bobby, and Ajax are being spotted. Shots out going up, and already the damage there going on the bottom of the hill. Blue Boys Captain taking a good chunk of damage there, getting dropped down below. The rest of High Voltage getting in front, doing a nice job shielding him. Striker is going to be the focus there for Yo, taking over 700 points of damage there, and now another shot dropping him below half, but Underpants is the focus. Uxteve taking him down, and here comes the RU-251 from the back, taking shots on the Striker. Lost no good response by taking Blue Boys down. Wallhacks does find Striker though. Chai takes down Arklet. It is a back and back battle. The seesaw going through. Who's going to come out up on top? Duck Thief having to back off in that back jet. He is now on reload. Meanwhile, Ant Thief for High Voltage finds Chai Sniper with Bird Thief taking down Bobby. Close behind. Only 3 members remain for Yo against the 5 of High Voltage. And with that overmatch right here, this should be going over to High Voltage very quickly. Another member falling for Yo. Lost now being surrounded. Meanwhile, Bird Thief left to chase off Ajax. Lost 1 or 2 more shots. He's going to be going down here. Let's see who's going to pick it up. It looks like it's going to be Ant Thief. His shot is ready, and he does in that T-22 take down that Object 907. And last but not least, Bird Thief chasing down Ajax in that bat chat. The first shot goes through. He's not even reloaded, and it looks like Bird Thief will be able to finish him off before the bat chat even gets a shot off. And that is going to be another quick victory for High Voltage, making it 3-1 against Yo. I mean, that's kind of a very, probably a good feeling for High Voltage here. You know, going like, all right, Yo, you got us. Well done, well played. Let's show you our dominance again. Having 5 tanks at the end of that, getting a nice victory. Now, that was the first actually time we saw High Voltage not utilize the donut. The other 3 times they played, they went to the donut. One time it was their downfall. The other 2 worked out beautifully. Do you think they you know, obviously just showing their diversity is like, hey, we can do both either way really well. And obviously in that 1v1 fight, Yo, still that player skill and going into the top tier, just not quite working out for him.
So what exactly is the question out of that group?
As I was asking the question, I realized the answer of the question, which is what the whole match has been the entire time.
Yeah, you can answer your own question.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, I just
It's
really David. No question there. I figured that one out.
You know what I saw there was actually relatively interesting. We've got a little bit of time. Let's go to stats when we can, and I'll talk about it.
Let's do that.
So there are numbers there. I know you guys really want to look at them, so you can have them. And
take them.
There you go. Ant Thief 3000. Other numbers up there. Really, what you see is what you get. People that got the shots got the shots. The people that were alive the longest got the highest damage. It's a mind-blowing concept, I know.
What?
So here in the end, what I saw there was essentially High Voltage ditching any meta, any strategy, any whatever, any of these little games. And they're just like, all right, fine. You want to fight middle? Let's fight middle. And they just smacked into them, and they won because they're better at the middle. Because the middle itself is enough. Unless the enemy team is throwing you a curveball, if they want to come there and you've got the experience, it's enough. There's so many little things about doing that right. They don't need to get fancier with it. That's enough.
All right. Well, and again, just kind of showing that dominance, being a more experienced team, being a more experienced player, possibly definitely on Cliffs there. But I just can't stop thinking of that amazing pickup there from Yo at the end. A fantastic fight going 1v1 here, but that is going to end Cliff between these 2 teams. Up next is going to be Ruinberg. Yo versus High Voltage. High Voltage is up 3-1. Let's see who's going to continue the victory. Let's get right down into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
So for High Voltage, we have 2 FE2 15 beats, 2 IS-7s, 2 T-22s, and an M40, M43. Interesting. Also, Arklet's out of the Artie, and Bird is in it. For Yo, we have 2 FE2 15Bs, 2 E5s, an Object 140, and 2 Object 432s.
All right, so we do have an artillery now coming out here on the side of High Voltage. David, if you're the artillery, where in the map are you going to place yourself? What is going to be the most effective position for you?
Well, he's going to start out around A0, and he's going to try and kind of move up the 0 line. But A0 is the furthest away from being spotted he can possibly be, so he'll stay there until some other place is kind of made clear for him.
Okay. All right. It'll be interesting to see kind of how that develops. Again, artillery we were talking about earlier on. The last match, the importance of bringing them is you need to hit your shots. Already Bobby and Blue Boys Captain spotting each other out here on the center road. Blue Boys Captain taking a shot, not quite connecting there onto Bobby. Both those still being spotted. A nice shot going back and forth there as well. And Yo really kind of biasing themselves toward this F-road. They're actually kind of sitting on either side of the street. This is an interesting area indeed. If you are Yo, you are on the offense. You need to, it's going to be your job to decipher where High Voltage is at, what they're doing, and where you can best exploit them. I wondered why, tell me why more teams don't do what Yo is doing, which is just sitting right dead in the middle, able to kind of flex either way. What's the main weakness to doing that?
It's just wasting time.
Okay.
The strength of it is, if anybody steps into the EF area, say a T-22, like Blue Boys goes a little bit too far west, something like that, they'll just nuke him. He'll die almost instantly.
Okay.
So it's a interesting kind of opening position where you can gather in for some information before you go further. But if you were to stay there for a long time,
Clocks
you
against
could
you.
be surrounded. Your clocks against you is the biggest thing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, now it looks like they have made their decision, and Yo is heading up to the northern cap. They're sending those 2 Object 432s to lead the way, followed by the rest of their team kind of bunching up here. Shy Sniper, Full Cross Bobby, Striker, and Loss staying as a team. Ox Thief and Arklet are the ones in those IS-7 just kind of intimidatingly just staring down at this northern cap, waiting for anyone to pop out. What is the view range on an IS-7? Obviously, it looks like it's that, as Ajax and Ondapon's getting spotted. Ajax taking a good chunk of damage there on the way through. Shots from across by Delta Village from Duck Thief, it looked like, picking up some damage as well onto Ajax. And they're going to continue to push forward, and Yo is going for this northern cap here, putting the pressure on the clock. 47 seconds here. Ajax, Ondapon's, and Bobby making up a very close, pushing all the way through, as we see most teams doing, trying to get those positions to make sure that High Voltage cannot come around the kind of the 5 line, following that road, the 5-6 area, and get too much damage for free. But with 23 seconds on the clock, it's going to be up to Ox Thief and maybe Bird Thief on the artillery if he can get the reload in time to get those resets. It looks like Lost took a little bit of damage there. Shy Sniper and Full Cross, though, continue to put that cap pressure on for Yo, and actually High Voltage taking the long way around, sending those 2 T-22s all the way through. They're confident enough that they're going to get the resets, and they're going to use that as their kind of ace in the hole. Will Yo be able to take it down quick enough, or will High Voltage be able to make it? It looks like the answer is High Voltage is going to be able to make it. Some fantastic resets coming out there from Wall Hacks, Duck Thief, Bird Thief, all the back there, just laying fire onto Full Cross in that E5. 37 seconds on the clock, and now here comes High Voltage from the back. The 2 T-22s are in position, and they are going to lay waste to this northern cap. Lost, Shy Sniper, and Full Cross really have nowhere to go. They just basically get to sit there and die. All they can do is do as much damage as possible as Blue Boys takes down Lost. Duck Thief find Full Cross, which is going to press Bobby, Ajax, and Ondapon's to try to make a move here onto Ox Thief, but there's just probably nothing they can do with 2 tanks already down, about to lose a third. That FB 215B, or the 5B that we're calling it for Yo, sitting back, trying to make sure that those T-22s can't push up further without taking too much damage, but it looks like it doesn't matter because the north for High Voltage has locked down. Ajax, a huge chunk of damage there, 438 points in that object, 432. Now Bobby going head-to-head with Wall Hacks. Ox Thief is one more shot here. It looks like Bobby wants to take him down. Duck Thief takes on Ajax. Ox takes a good chunk there into Bobby. Another shot goes through as well. Bobby is on the reload. He does finally find Ox Thief, but Wall Hacks and Duck Thief take down Bobby and Ondapon's. And with just Striker and Shy Sniper alive, this is going to be another victory for High Voltage. Bird Thief takes down Striker. Shy Sniper, sorry man, you are all by yourself, and you are gone. Ant Thief picks up that one, and that's another victory for High Voltage. Congratulations to them. They just need now one more to find the match. Now, one thing I also kind of want to talk about, that the confidence that High Voltage had to send those T-22s around through the city. Could that have gone poorly for them? Is there any way where, they're like, oh yeah, we're definitely into the resets, guys, no worries at all? Can you make that call confident enough, or is there always that risk of, oh, we bounced one, or oh, we missed that one, or were they just in such good positions?
Well, they had the artillery there. So
that was like
they can pretty
ace.
much guarantee they will get the resets. Plus 2 FE-215Bs. They have really high DPM. They fire very quickly. So that's kind of the difference between DPM and rate of fire.
Okay.
And usually it's not that big of a deal. DPM usually equals high rate of fire. There are some takes where that's not exactly true. In this case, the FE-215B has both.
Okay.
high DPM, high rate of fire. And it's just cranking out shots. The 2 of them combined with the M40, if you try and do a cap like that, you're going to get annihilated.
So is that one of those situations where if you, on the side of offense, see the lineup that High Voltage just brought and go, guys, Northern Cap's not going to work?
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
You have to go in the south at that point because
Gotcha.
that's the only place you're going to get any sort of cover from the M40 and kind of negate it from the fight and have something come in and flank it or something like that. But one cap was dead as soon as they saw it, unless they had some sort of ace in the sleeve for how they were going to get that artillery down.
Gotcha.
But
right.
without it, no. It's
sure. See, that's
no
one
way.
you see the lineup, you go, all right, automatically Northern Cap is out of the question. Another thing, just obviously with that Northern Cap being kind of useless for Yo to go for, but we always see when any team goes for the Northern Cap, they always send a couple of their members to push all the way through to try to get to those villages, those little houses. Is it really crucial for the defending team at that point to get a lot of damage onto those tanks before they find the cover, or does it really matter if they get there with full health or not?
It can be crucial. it's desired.
Sure.
But it is not
It's not
necessary.
like make a break.
Depending on the overall strategy. If you have tanks in those buildings where those two, if they cross, or those three, how many, if they cross unscathed,
Yeah.
and they can go head to head with somebody, then it could be an issue. But if there's nobody there, and you're kind of just stood off and relying on the FE215Bs like they were,
Sure.
then it's not a big deal.
Irrelevant. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, High Voltage just needs one more victory to take the match down. Can Yo take it from them? Let's see and get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For High Voltage, we have a Mouse T57 Heavy, 2 Bat Chats, 2 W100s, and an AMX 5100. For Yo, 2 F-15Bs, 2 E5s, an STB, and an object or 2 Object 432s. Yep. The names are backwards again, so just
Keep that in mind. Keep this trust exercise going. Listen to our voices. Your eyes are deceiving you, unless it comes to the clock, which is at 7 minutes and 46 seconds. That, ladies and gentlemen, is true. Ontoponts, Ajax, Fulcros, these are all members that you guys see on your screen for the side of Yo. They are on the defense. They have 1 point. The scores are correct as far as the names are regarding Ox Thief. And the teams that are in red above their tanks, that is High Voltage, and they are the ones who are trying to attack. And if they get one more victory, they are going to win here. Ontopon's pushing up pretty aggressively in that object for 32. Now, looking at the lineup for Yo, David, obviously High Voltage has decided that the Northern Cap is something that is doable. Is that something you would agree with?
Yes.
All right, cool.
It certainly looks as though. The lineup for Yo there is it's a good one for resets. It's got a lot of DPM, a lot of rate of fire. But if you're confident in the strategy with a Mouse and T57 Heavy and some of the other stuff they got there, it's certainly doable.
Mouse.
Certainly.
Now we kind of talked about.
But Yo is already seeing this right now. They already know they're not in the south. They've got an Object 430 maybe about a third of the way to the cap flank. And there's a 5100 there to kind of lock that down. And you can, a 5100 can definitely kill one of these tanks. Close quarters combat. Bobby taking a lot of damage. Look at all those shots and just bouncing them all.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's like invincible. So many shots being focused on him. Not a single one connecting until that one did. 483 points of damage there going into that E5. Bobby having to back off. We have Ox Thief in that Mouse, guarding Blue Boys captains there. Just a human shield. Hashtag battle buddies for life. Meanwhile, High Voltage obviously seeing this, or I'm sorry, Yo seeing this, sending members of their team around the back because if they can get behind Ox Thief there, his shield will be useless, and it's going to be Blue Boys captain all by himself for High Voltage. Yo sending Chai Sniper, those two 432s and the 5Bs with each other. Can they get there in time, though, as 25 seconds is already on the clock. Duck Thief and Bird Thief there for High Voltage, and those Batchass just sitting and wait. Meanwhile, it looks like High Voltage may be setting a trap here, knowing that a lot of those members have been coming around from the side. 18 seconds on the clock. The shots onto Ox Thief. Nothing connecting. I mean, they connect.
Well, they're connect, but they're going to bounce all day.
Exactly. Getting bounced left and right. Look at that. 2 more shots. Finally, one connects. Does get the reset there. Meanwhile, over in the city, a fight that we don't get to see a lot happen in these kind of areas. High Voltage versus Yo. Yo finally has made it. Striker taking tons of damage. 2100. One more shot, and he's going to go down. But Arclet and Wall Hacks, unfortunately, now their clips are empty, and they are on reload. This is Yo's opportunity to push as Ant Thief as well. And that 50B is out of ammo. Chai Sniper now going to be chasing him down. Bobby taking down Arclet, and Striker and Lost now have free reign of Blue Boys captain. One more shot, and he's going to be going down. Here comes the cavalry for High Voltage. They have sent in Duck Thief to try to deal with anything that they can. The Object 430 going at it. Fulcros takes down Blue Boys. Bird Thief finds a kill. Duck Thief finally takes down Chai Sniper. It is a 5v5, ladies and gentlemen. High Voltage versus Yo. Yo taking even more damage there. Duck Thief, though, does find Striker. High Voltage trying their best to stay in this one. Ox Thief on cap is extremely low, though. One more shot on that Mouse, and he's going to be going down. Ajax picking that one up. Wallhacks, Bird Thief, Duck Thief, and Ant Thief all alive for High Voltage. As Wallhacks finds Antipants. Now 3 tanks remain for Yo, 4 for High Voltage, but a huge chunk of damage there going on to Ant Thief. 31 points of HP. He has remained there in that 50B. Wallhacks does have one final shot in that E100. That is, again, ladies and gentlemen, my answer for my favorite tank. Let's see if he can do work with that final shot before he gets taken down, because he is one more shot from death. Bird Thief is almost on the reload in that bad chat. Duck Thief is reloaded, and he is going head-to-head with Lost right now. The first shot bounces, but the shot for Lost connects. Finally, the second one, they're going over for High Voltage, and it looks like Lost is going to be going down. An autoloader versus a single shot. Duck Thief comes out on top, and that is another tank falling for Yo. Bobby and Ajax are all that remain. High Voltage has 4 members up, and with those 2 tanks super low, it looks like High Voltage should be able to take this one, unless Bobby and Ajax can get into some amazing positions and get some amazing shots as well. But this time that is being bought right now is just giving High Voltage a fantastic opportunity to reload all of those autoloaders that they do have on their side, get ready for whatever fight. And David, if you were High Voltage, would you just push up and forget about Cap and take them down, or would you draw them out with Cap?
Right now, what I would probably do is I would send somebody around, probably Duck Thief. I'd send him as far away as possible, have him a little bit of Overwatch to make sure he can sneak by Bobby, and then send him all the way around and get on the 2 cap. You got enough time to put on the pressure, and they have to come out to him, and you got a lot of other people lying around for it. You could probably squeak out another tank at it while you're at it, but either way, that's pretty much the solution we're looking at here.
David, look at, as you say it, just like clockwork, Duck Thief in that bat chat is heading over to the number 2 cap. And they're just going to put some pressure on that I'm sure Yo just cannot deal with. 2 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock. High Voltage does have 4 tanks, and they just need to pick up this victory to end the night out. 2 minutes and 40 seconds now. Duck Thief just making his way. I'm sure High Voltage is waiting for that pressure to be applied. And you know, this is, I mean, obviously this is a crucial time where timing and communication comes in handy. But you know, to be able to apply that pressure at the perfect opportunity to really cause Yo to be in the situation where they just either panic or have to like look a certain way before then turning around, I'm sure is crucial. It looks actually like Duck Thief isn't even going to apply that pressure. He's just going for an overlook. Bird Thief is the one who is actually going very aggressively over into the village. He's heading straight toward Bobby. He takes a shot into Bobby, finds him, and he looks like he wants a 2v1, and it looks like no, Duck Thief is going to take it from him, and that is going to be High Voltage's victory, a 5-1 against Yo here, ending it on Ruinberg. A fantastic match between the two. I think before we move on, before we close this one out, there's anything that you saw from that match, anything pop out in stats, or a pretty just kind of a well-executed strategy from High Voltage?
We can take a look at stats for a second here before we go.
Let's go into stats.
Huge numbers out of mostly everyone, honestly. There's only 2 guys in the entire battle that didn't break 1,000, and it's not necessarily their fault. They just weren't in the great positions. They got focus fired down. Everybody else over 1,000, and we can see actually Wallhax did not get as much as I expected him, or thought that he did after seeing, because he had some very, very crucial damage at very crucial moments.
Gotcha.
But apparently Arclet is the one who soaked up a lot of that in the beginning. Ox Thief bounced 2770.
Oh my God.
And then where was
that
that
mouse?
E5? I believe it was this guy. Nope, this one, Bobby, 3290 bounced out of his E5 when he was backing up there, just getting rained on.
I was going to say, so many shots.
Why doesn't that happen to me? I play the E5. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
These guys are just, hey, David, I mean, these guys are the cream of the crop right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for High Voltage versus Yo. Up next, our 4th and final battle is going to be Ding